All right, why don't we get started? A New York Magazine expose on John Fetterman. Now, obviously, John Fetterman, if you're on the left, broadly speaking, yeah, this guy kind of sucks. Yeah, he sucks pretty bad. Uh, was he better than what Mehmet Uz? You know, Doctor Oz. Yeah, at the time, yeah, I would probably say because I mean, fucking Doctor Oz is a complete crank, like charlatan through and through. Stupid moron, bloody bloody bloody. You know. Yeah, you're right, Boy Meets Minnie. He is currently a Trump advisor, Doctor Oz. Like, which is really, really funny, I'll be honest. Very goofy, very silly. But, you know, isn't he like a medical advisor or some shit? Even though I believe, one of the reasons why he ended up getting sued and he lost that lawsuit was because of like his just complete crankery and tomfoolery. Yep, yep. Ah, well, you know, like Trump also has like a fucking faith advisor who does like the stupid like mama shit, you know, during those like stupid ass fake sermons in like the mega churches. Yeah, like the people who do the fucking like those people are typically demons, absolute fucking demons. Speaking in tongues, that was what I was looking for. Whatever, who cares? Makasa Basa is probably better or some shit. Who cares? Yeah, so what? New York Magazine did an expose on him. Obviously, I can't look at this because it's just like, oh, do you have a subscription? And I'm just like, you suck. I hate you. But whatever. What do we got here? Since winning in 2022, because he won against what? Dr. Oz during a midterm election. Fetterman has lost his closest advisors, including 3 of his top spokespeople, his legislative director, and his chief of staff. God damn. That's crazy. Are you telling me mega churches supported by politicians aren't in the good faith of God? More surprising than you may think. Well, anyway. Former and current staffers paint a picture of an erratic senator, because keep in mind, John Fetterman, while on the campaign trail against Dr. Oz, he had a stroke, which I remember in like an interview he had with Bill Maher, he was just like, yeah, that stroke broke me out of progressivism. And I'm just like, dude, how fucking, like, how much of a weirdo fart sniffer do you have to be to unironically think that? Like, think about it for literally 3 seconds. That's what broke you out of progressivism? Sure, man. I totally believe you for 3 seconds of my life. Yeah, man. Totally. Sure. Yeah. Whatever. It's nonsense, obviously. And whose mental health situation is more serious and complicated than previously reported. No one is saying every issue, say his respectful relationship with Trump, stems from his mental health, but it became harder. It's become harder to tell which ones do. That is okay. That sentence structure just like fucked with my brain there a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm also suffering. Maybe I'm about to be have my own John Fetterman moment. Fetterman's staffers, his truest believers, now question his fitness to be a senator. They worry he may present a danger to the Democratic Party and maybe even to himself. Damn, that's crazy. Well, let's see. What's the New York Times article got to say from this? Former Fetterman aide expressed concerns to doctor about senator's mental health. As a former chief of staff, that's a high up position, dude. Okay, the former chief of staff to John Fetterman, Democrat of Pennsylvania, was so alarmed with his ex-boss's erratic behavior last year that he wrote a lengthy letter to his doctor warning that the senator was spiraling out of control and that his mental health issues would cost him his life. I'm worried that if John stays on his current trajectory, he won't be with us for much longer. Adam Gentleson, the former chief of staff, wrote on May 20th to a doctor who had treated Mr. Fetterman at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. I'm trying to think. Is this because of the stroke? Right, because he had a stroke, and that's... I don't want to say what led to the crash out. That sounds like so fucking weird to say. I'll be honest. Like, oh yeah, this is what led to him like his like deterioration. I feel like that's just like kind of weird and fucked up to say, but well, you know, I mean, it's not exactly an inaccurate statement. I don't know. This it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't really like it, but whatever. Sure, man. Who cares? Mr. Fetterman's behavior, according to former aides who are still connected to his diminishing circle, is still at times a cause of concern. Other former members of his staff, speaking on the condition of anonymity, report that their colleagues sometimes were frightened to be in the senator's presence if he was in an amped up mood. What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a little ominous. They have also long been warned never to get in a car if Mr. Fetterman was behind the wheel because of his dangerous driving habits. Yeah, that's like one of the things, right? So it was like reported that John Fetterman basically has like very aggressive driving tendencies. Like he is quite aggressive for some reason. And people are just like, he got like into a car crash, right? I think with his wife, and that like almost like that like really messed up his wife, and that's like one of the reasons why people are just like, yeah, we don't know about this guy. This guy's kind of sus. Don't like him. I don't know. His volatile and concerning behavior, which aides noticed last year, was taking a turn for the worse. What's like the reference for these? Flashes a sharper edge. You can suck my cock. I hate the New York Times. I hate the New York Times. I hate the New York Times. Fuck you, New York Times. You bastards. Bastards. Great, now I have to fucking start from a different article. Fuck you. I hate this shit. God, I hate you. Fine, Fox News it is. God, this is why I hate fucking liberal outlets. Bastards. I had it working and then all of a sudden it realized. Because I wanted to look at a reference. I should have opened it in a new tab. Fuck. Liberals! This is why no one likes you. Where are we starting with the issues? After being discharged through himself in the Senate work. He took the leading role in calling the ouster. Oh, yeah, he did do that. Yeah, he called for, like, so Rob Menendez from a Democrat from New Jersey, who's, like, super corrupt. He was basically like taking like gold payments of from the Egyptians, right? That's like what he got charged on. And John Fetterman was against that because I don't know, he's like an idiot. Former and current staffers paint a picture of an erratic senator who has almost become impossible to work for and whose mental health situation is more serious and complicated than the previous reported. I did not want to open that. After staffers wrote a letter about Fetterman's gutting betrayal supporting Israel, the report went on to allege Giselle comforted him about Jerusalem bombing refugee camps. How can you support this? Yeah, John Fetterman has been a very avid supporter of Israel, just turning Palestinians into mulch. He seems to be a big fan of I don't know, bombing children for some reason. I don't know. It seems that it's a little sus. It's a little weird. I'll be quite honest. I think turning kids into mulch, personally, I'm just gonna throw that out here. I think that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying. After staffers wrote a letter, Giselle reportedly also went to staffers with their concern, while a Senate physician in December 2023 reported him acting bizarrely near the Senate subway while he had not had blood work for months. Yeah, he also went after AOC and shit like that. The hulking lawmaker also reportedly knocked over folks walking in the Capitol. Both types of incidents reportedly rankled his wife, who was vociferous on the matter, according to the magazine piece. Fox News Digital reached out to Fetterman for comment. Social media became abuzz after the article dropped, with Bloomberg columnist Matthew Iglesias calling it a very sad story on a human level, but of course it's also politics and cannot be addressed purely on that level. Left-wing former MSNBC host Mehdi Hassan wrote that the story in color And color from former staffers therein makes clear that Fetterman should not be serving in the Senate. Every Senate Democrat should read this and be asked on that. A California progressive group reacted by writing that the story of by writing that story is an indictment of populist lawmakers, whether the left or right, whether they agree with your preferred policies or not. Populism will not get you the best leaders. Wait, are these liberals trying to argue that John Fetterman's a populist? No, he's not. He supports like a lot of things that are just explicitly like not for populism, but like no one, I don't know, like no one seems to understand what populism means nowadays anymore. Like populism is just like a word now for like, I personally, I just think that the people from this party are just kind of like stupid and stinky. Like yeah, it's like a word that's like lost all meaning. I even talked about this in like the Brendan Miller video where he was talking about populism as well. Populism is just like such a nonsense, like meaningless term nowadays. It just doesn't matter. It's stupid. It's dumb, and I don't like it at all. It's like it's one of those situations. It's like, yeah, what can you do? Like it's a term that means nothing. Like literally, it means absolutely nothing. It's annoying. It's irritating. What can you do? I'll be honest. Another user said the story showed Giselle as evil. I mean, okay, I don't think I agree with this. I don't think the wife is really doing anything wrong. Yeah, I don't know why people are bringing the wife on this, but sure, whatever. These are not red flags. There's a siren going off. John Fetterman is not taking his meds. He needs inpatient care. Kamal commented another. Funny how they didn't run these hit pieces or question Fetterman's mental health during the campaign. When he was barely able to speak, or when he so spectacularly fumbled the debate against Dr. Oz. Yeah, but that's because he just suffered the stroke, right? And he was recovering from the stroke. You can recover from a stroke and get back to like I don't know what the correct term here is like some like modicum or level of normalcy. Like you can get back to normal from stuff like that, right? So it was like less of a concern. But now it's just like, oh, it's not like it's not deteriorating, that's not the correct term. It's getting like worse and worse and worse now, and it seems like the situation is not getting any better, so like we're kind of concerned now, right? Because people operated on the assumptions like, I mean, it's like, oh, he's probably okay now or something, and the people are just like, yeah, he can probably go back to the Senate or whatever, which I think is like a fine sort of assertion to make. I don't think that's like a ridiculous sort of like claim, because they're operating on the assumptions like, I mean, he's able to do his job. He spoke like well enough, like he had the debate, like we can assume that he's probably okay, right? And turns out it's not the case. He's not actually okay. It's actually getting worse. But well, it's just how it happens sometimes, right? With these cases, sometimes it ends up not really working out, and that's just how it is, right? But now that he turned out to not be a deranged Trump hater, a psychotic terrorist lover, or an obedient progressive, suddenly they're starting to question his mental acuity. A different user wrote. Who the fuck wrote this? On Shanity, huh? Some dumbass, huh? Okay. Conservatives with doublespeak and stuff like that, say it ain't so. Whoa, crazy. Conservatives, like, pretending to be concerned about mental health because now they have someone who's more ideologically aligned with them. Who would have thought that such a thing could be possible? Oh, crazy. Knocking him out early before he could do anything in 2028, wrote another who conjectured that both Fetterman and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro could end up battling each other in the next presidential primary. Dude, if it's Fetterman and Josh Shapiro, the Democratic Party is going to be so cooked, bro. There's no way. But I guess thanks Fox News. Very cool. Like, what else is there? So, some of the stuff that's happened with Fetterman is, like, he's gotten into, like, car crashes and stuff before, and it's like, I don't know, seemingly like very dangerous. People think like he's like a danger around people, right? So he's gone into like a car crash. That's not the correct one. Car. Well, he drives his car recklessly. They don't talk about the car crash, but yeah, he was like driving recklessly with his vehicle, and he got into a crash with his wife in the passenger seat, and they were like pretty severely injured, which is why people are sort of like saying like, "Hey, John, something going on? Are you okay? Like, what's up? What's happening?" Right? He drives his car recklessly. What? Oh, here we go. 1 month later, Fetterman got into a car accident driving home from the airport after an early morning flight going well over the 70 mile per hour speed limit on I-70. I did not want to open that. His wife in the back seat suffered preliminary contusion and spinal fractures, and Fetterman told one of his staffers that he had fallen asleep while driving. Well, that's kind of dangerous. Bro is speeding and he's falling asleep behind the wheel. That's crazy. If you want to go to Pittsburgh, it's simple. The pilot told him you're going to have to follow our instructions and be asked to get off the airplane. Yeah, he's also had some very strange behaviors on an airplane, right? In an incident earlier this year, Fetterman was filmed on a flight to Pittsburgh arguing with the pilot about wearing his seatbelt correctly. Video from February where John Fetterman got into an argument with the pilot about wearing his seatbelt so it was visible. That's really crazy.
Is your seatbelt on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it needs to be visible for the crew at all times. That's not on. That's not an us thing. That's a federal regulation. So it's okay. It's okay.
I put my seatbelt on and I haven't said anything.
Okay, it's okay, but it just has to be visible to the crew at all times. It's a federal regulation.
We love the federal aviation.
If your seatbelt's on, just has to be visible, and right now it's not visible.
We just need to be able to see your seatbelt, Mr. Fetterman.
We have an extender if you'd like that. It'll make it bigger so it can go outside of your sweatshirt. Would that work?
No, I just don't really need to continue the conversation. My seatbelt is on.
Sir, if you want to go to Pittsburgh, it's simple. You have to follow our instructions, or you're going to ask to get off the airplane. We're not.
The chuckle, the slight chuckle in the background because it's just like, dude, what the hell is going on? He's one. Probably they know it's like, oh, it's John Fetterman, and they're just like, oh, he's acting like a complete child. This is like super wacky.
Don't ask him much. Let it happen. Like all that we need to be able to see your seatbelt at all times.
I've been flying for 30 years and I've never
No, we just need to see your seatbelt.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay, what's a federal regulation? So if I don't make you do it, then I get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble because I like my job.
Man, it's weird, bro. Like for real, it's just a seatbelt, you know, just to make sure people can see. I don't know, like why is this such a problem? Is he like perceiving this as like a challenge to like his power or something, or I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of like potential reasoning for as to why this like behavior is happening, and I'm just like perplexed. I can't really think of much of anything for as to why he's behaving in this manner. Like, is it just because of like perceived like I don't know slight against him and his like power or something? That's like the only thing I can potentially think of. I just find it very strange. It's just perplexing. I don't know why he's behaving like this, I'll be honest. In another instance, in 2023, one of his staffers reported hearing a journalist that Fetterman had walked into the street and was nearly hit by a car. Jesus Christ. A short time later, a Senate doctor called Fetterman's office to report that the senator walked into a group of people and they knocked them over near the underground trolleys running between the Capitol and the Congressional Office Building. Fetterman insists that he is in good health despite these reports and chalks up the disturbing reports to disgruntled staffers. Of course, deflect on the staffers, but other accounts show increased black and white thinking on issues such as Israel's massacre of Gaza, which has alienated many of his staffers. Yeah, this is also another thing that's been reported. He's been like more and more just erratic and difficult to work with because of his stances on like Israel Palestine, and the fact that he's just getting like more and more aggressive, and he just has to seemingly like stranger and stranger like contrarian positions and stuff like that. And an inexplicable show of support for certain Trump administration policies. Yeah, he's like very strangely anti-immigrant for some reason. He pushed for a lot of like anti-immigrant sentiment and stuff like that. Even though, like, funnily enough, his wife is she's an immigrant herself. I'm not sure if she was like a DACA recipient. I'm not sure. It was just like strange behavior. It's like, bro, your wife like could get fucking deported or something. That's weird. Probably to get some of the
Doctor, turn off my cringe inhibitors.
But Raiden, you'll lose subscribers.
Do it.
Okay.
I was fucking joking. Why did you do it?
This is true. Thank you, Raiden with Biden. Very cool. It's just weird, dude. Very strange. Drawing a backlash from liberal supporters, it seems that Fetterman's health is raising the question if he's fit to continue serving in politics. This seems like it's, pretty damning. I know that people have broadly been speaking about, like, his mental health problems, and I think it's, like, reasonable. I'll be honest. I'll say it. Like, I don't really give a shit. Yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable to have some questions, because it's just, like, you know, it's not because, like, libcucks, yeah, man, just because she's, like, bending the knee to, like, Trump, and he's having, like, based opinions for, like, once in his pathetic life as a Democrat, means that the lamestream media now has to have, like, a problem with him, and all these, like, leftist dumbasses or some shit. That's complete nonsense. That's stupid. That's not the reasoning why. He's showing, like, more erratic behavior, has almost gotten in multiple accidents, and has had incidents with other people, and is displaying erratic, strange behavior. I think it's reasonable for people to be like, hey, John, there's something going on, you know, man? Is there something that needs to be talked about? It's like, things seem to be kind of getting weird. Like, what's up? What's happening? Wow, what's up? What's happening? What's going on? I think that's probably what it is. People seem to be, like, concerned about some potential problems that John Fetterman seems to be having. I think that's more than likely what the case is. Not just, like, him, like, no longer bending the knee to liberals or whatever idiotic shit like conservatives can come up with for the reasoning for as to why. I think it's pretty genuine to have, like, some potential concerns for John Fetterman's, like, more erratic behavior, and I think it's probably, like, a more genuine concern of, like, hey, man, something going on? You alright? Like, what's up? What's happening? You know, something need to be talked about or something? I think that's probably more what it is, but, you know, conservatives are gonna, like, wield issues like this, like, rather incredulously to push, like, a particular agenda or something. Whoa, who would have thought such a thing could be possible? Whoa, crazy, whoa. But yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that there's some sussies going on. Some strange. It's just one of those situations where it's like, what's happening, bro? Like, we good? We Gucci? What's up? Seems a little weird that you seem to be struggling with, like, a lot of different stuff, John. Like, what's happening? What's up? I think that's probably more what it is. Like, there is genuine concern and people are expressing that. But, you know, leave it up to conservatives to basically come up with, like, any excuse possible to make, like, well, really anything political. They'll always do it. For like a party that always complains about how everything is getting more political and woke, these guys seemingly love to make everything, well, as political as possible to obfuscate. But whatever. But yeah, you know, hopefully John Fetterman here is able to get the help that he needs, you know, to try to end it on, like, a more positive note. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Like, I do think he's, like, a piece of shit. Maybe it's, like, the power is, like, gone to his head. Maybe APAC just has, like, I don't know, the super spreader virus of, like, information on John Fetterman, and that's why he's, like, currently taking the positions that he's taking right now. I don't know. it's just really perplexing, like the sort of like reasoning for as to why he's, I guess, behaving this way. And I think that's probably the thing that people are focusing more and more on. It's just like, why are you? It's like, what's up, John? What's happening? You seem to be getting like worse. What's happening? What's up? What's going on? Yeah, that's what I personally think it is. Something's wrong. Something's going on somewhere. And I don't know. People seem to be concerned about it, which I think is reasonable. I'll be honest. What I don't get is how it's so hard for liberals to snap out of this. I don't know. Like with liberals, for them, they'll also very much so act like conservatives in a way where like they'll try to have like not like shows or displays of power. For them, it's more like so. Well, we have to try to be like pragmatic or something in order to make sure that we maintain something against the Democrats, or like maybe it could be because like, oh, I used to be progressive like one of you guys, like what's up? Why do you guys not like him? And they want to be like stupidly annoying about it or something. I mean, that's also a possibility. It could be really like anything, to be honest, right? Tons of reasons. Like, could it be on like an honest sort of like ploy from liberals saying like it's all about power or something? Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't believe that for even a second, given the behavior of a lot of liberals. But yeah, personally, I think that this like strange bias, perhaps, of like incumbency for like entrenched sort of like, because that's another thing that plays into it. A lot of liberals just have like a sort of inherent bias for incumbency, which I find very annoying. But hey, well, just how it is for the time being. It's stupid, it's silly, it's annoying, but unfortunately it's the position that we kind of have to reckon with at the time, for the time being. That it's just like a thing where it's just like with liberals, oh man, it's all about like making sure that we're able to maintain numbers for the express purposes of having Democrats in office, to make sure that Republicans don't get into power, which I mean is an argument that I can be partial towards. But like for people like John Fetterman, who are just like, I don't know, pieces of shit, like it's kind of tough for me to be like, to remain fully partial to that position. I think he's just maybe he's just like losing it. Maybe the power's gone to his head. I don't know. It could be like really anything. Maybe it's just a mental breakdown. There's so many potential reasons for as to why he's behaving in the way that he is. And I think, personally, like, I would prefer it if John were to step down and just get the help that he probably needs. I think that's probably the best option. It's the most healthy option. And, anyone who's saying, like, hey, he should stay in because of either, like, him agreeing with Trump now or whatever, or because, like, of some incumbency bias or whatever, are just, they hate people who have mental health issues. I'll say it. I don't really care. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to really say about that. The position, I prefer to sort of take a more humanist approach and just say, like, honestly, it just as like a human to human, maybe you should step aside, buddy, and just like, I don't know, let someone else take over. That's really all I gotta say about this, I think.